Hi everyone, myself Navyatha working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Cybersecurity and Data Science in MLR Institute of Technology. Today I am going to discuss about the concept of triggers, that too in a practical manner. So what is a trigger? Triggers are the SQL statements that can be executed automatically whenever event occurs. That means here to execute or to activate the trigger, we use any of the DML commands, either insert or update or delete. Okay, first of all, the thing is we have to create a trigger, and if at all to execute the trigger or to hit the trigger, we must use any of the DML commands, either insert or update or delete. So let us discuss these things in a practical manner. Okay. So to execute a trigger, first of all, we need to create a table. Okay, for that table, we need to create a particular trigger, and to fire that trigger, we used to use DML commands. So let us create one employee table. Create table employee with two attributes simply, ID integer, okay, comma salary, which is of integer. Let us execute this statement, which has been already existing. So let us rename it as employee 1. So create table employee 1, which has attributes ID and salary. And here I have not represented any primary key or else anything. Okay. Now let us insert quickly some values. Insert into employee 1. So 1, comma 1,50,000. Okay, this is what my salary. And let us insert this insert into employee values, the values that I have to mention the keyword. So let us insert this one. So one row has been inserted. Okay, now let us insert 2 to 3 rows. So here the ID is 2 and the salary is 1 lakh. Okay. Now for ID 3, the salary is, let us take 2 lakh. Okay. Now for ID 4, let us take the salary 1 lakh. Now the last row for ID 5, let us take the value 10,000, less than 1 lakh. Okay. So let us insert these rows quickly and let us create one trigger for so this is what the table I have created and inserted. Select star from employee 1. See? So this is the table that I have created. Okay. So now my job is to create a trigger. Okay. For this employee table. And here I have to ensure that minimum salary must be 1 lakh. Okay, and I want to update that trigger. I want to update this value by using whatever the trigger that has been created by us. So let us create first. Okay, so create trigger. So what is the trigger name here? Whatever the name you have, you can give. So the name is nothing but T1. Create trigger, trigger name. Okay. So when this trigger must fire before updation. Okay, when this trigger we have to fire the trigger. Create trigger T1, that is what T1 is, nothing but the trigger name. So before update, okay, on employee 1. So for which table that we are going to create this trigger? Employee table. So here used to represent on employee 1. Okay, and this trigger must be activated for each row. The syntax of the trigger which we have explained in our previous sessions, that too in a triggers concept. Based upon that theory session, I am going to execute now the practical queries. Okay, so here for each row the trigger has been executed. Next, here I should give begin. Okay, now bbms underscore output dot put underscore line for printing the minimum salary. Okay, printing minimum salary. And okay, this is how the trigger will be created or not. Let us check. See, trigger created. Okay, to know whether this trigger is executing or not, to know whether this trigger created that is working or not, what we have to do? We have to use any of the DML commands. What are the DML commands? Insertion, updation, deletion, apart from selection. Okay, so here we can use either insert or update or delete. So what I have mentioned here, see, to select or else to update whose salary is, I want to ensure that all my employees' salary must be minimum 1 lakh. But here one of my employees' salary is 10,000. That I should change it to 1 lakh by using this trigger, and that too by update command. Okay, that too by update command. So what is my intention here? I used to change this 10,000 to 1 lakh. Okay, by using the trigger. So update employee 1. Okay, set sal only, right? I have given, yes, set sal is equal to 1 lakh. Okay, where sal is less than or equal to 1 lakh. Okay, so this is what my intention, to update employee set. See here, minimum salary, that is 3 rows has been updated. Why? What is the reason here? See here, I have given the condition salary less than or equal to 1 lakh. That means it has counted, see, 10,000, 1 lakh and 1 lakh. Why? Because I have given the equal to. That is why 3 rows has been updated as minimum salary. Okay. So now, what is the intention? Select star from employee. Select star from employee. That means these 3 rows has been updated with 1 lakh. So let us run this query. Okay, let us run this query. I am sorry, employee 1. Okay, this is the previous table. Employee 1. Select star from employee 1. See, this is what the table that I have created. And for 5, here I have given 10,000. But it has been updated as 1 lakh by using this trigger. Right. So, minimum salary which I have updated. And here minimum salary, 3 times of minimum salary is being printed. Why? Because here I have given the condition that I want to print minimum salary less than or equal to 1 lakh. That is why here 1 lakh also will be considered. 1 lakh, 1, 2 and 3 rows of minimum salary will be printed. So in this way we have updated 10,000 to 1 lakh. Now, my intention is to avoid allowances whose salary is greater than 1 lakh. Okay, to avoid allowances whose salary is above greater than 1 lakh. So here let us create one trigger. Okay, so create or replace trigger. In the previous thing, I have created one trigger, create trigger name. So if at all I want to modify the existing trigger, then I can use the command create or replace. Okay, so create or replace trigger. So here, for example, the trigger name is T allowances. T allowances. Now I need to check. Okay, here I used to check before insert or update or delete, whatever the operation that you are going to perform, either insertion or updation or deletion, the trigger can be activated. Okay, before that. So that is what my intention. So here before insert or update or delete on which table? Employee 1. Okay, on employee 1 for each row. This trigger must be activated for each row. Okay, now what we have to do? Begin. So here it is nothing but it comes under PLSQL block structure only, right? So begin, end. So in between begin and here we can give whatever the conditions that we want to specify. So begin, if new dot sal is greater than 1 lakh, then dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. This is what for printing. Okay, so here you have to represent allowances not applicable for salary greater than 1 lakh. Okay, this is what the statement that you have to print. And if end. Okay, so here you used to represent. Okay, if so, let us run this one. So uncounted symbol, unexpected here. See here the trigger has been created. Okay, those salary who's greater than 1 lakh, so they must not be allowed applicable for allowances. So now to hit this trigger. Okay, so here I want to update. Let us see. Update employee 1 set sal is equal to sal plus 500. Okay, update employee 1 set sal is equal to salary plus 500, where sal is less than or equal to 1 lakh. This is what my statement. So let us run this one. See here, what is the allowances not applicable for salary greater than 1 lakh. Okay, so this is what the 3 rows has been updated. Now let us check. Select star from employee 1. Let us check whether that has been updated or employee 1 table has been updated. See, plus 500. Whoever having 1 lakh, I have added 500, right? So here 1 lakh 500, 1 lakh 500, so 3 rows has been updated. Okay, that is what my intention. And here allowances which are not applicable for 1 lakh 5,000, that is why here 3 rows has been updated. So in this way we have to create a trigger, and to hit the trigger, we need to use any of the DML commands. Thank you.